and welcome back to the Hot Lap. We're talking all of the Imola Grand Prix, or otherwise known as, deep breath, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Yes, it's been Media Thursday. There is a fair amount of news. Let's get into it. So the headlines coming into the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Well, interestingly, the first one is about someone that doesn't race Formula 1 cars and has a bit to do with it. But, well, as you can see, he's Lewis Hamilton's dad. Now, the rumour is Anthony Hamilton is set for an official role within the FIA. And it's apparently to do with a young driver role. Hey, let's be fair, he's produced one of the best drivers. He also used to be Paul di Resta's manager. And we saw the way, unlike Helm the Unfatherly, when it comes to Formula 1 helmet, Marco, the way Hamilton's dad, Anthony Hamilton, dealt with the tragedy that was Isaac Hadjar going on from the safety car lap. I don't say that lightly, because for him, it probably would have been, it was basically the worst start to an F1 race, to an F1 season, to an F1 career. You can almost think absolutely brilliant. So fair play, FIA and Anthony Hamilton. Next up, yes, we are officially in European F1 season, minus the Canadian Grand Prix in a few races time, but motorhomes are back in this one. It's gorgeous. This is the Ferrari motorhome. Next up, we've got the Aramco Formula 1 team motorhome, the one Adrian Newey, I imagine, will be sat at, if not now, definitely this time next year. And here is the Red Bull motorhome. Ooh, I think Red Bull always do a good job. I remember McLaren doing an amazing job in the McLaren Mercedes days. And this is the McLaren motorhome. It looks very much like a Lego set, but nice. And I love the 4 and the 81. And speaking of motorhomes, this is the Haas motorhome, the new Haas motorhome, apparently. It looks very nice, doesn't it? They're not as lavish and lush as they were, I think, in the tobacco years, when some of them were a bit crazy. I mean, to the point where I imagine it would have got to the point where a helicopter probably could have landed on them. So moving on from that, let's talk about a couple of upgrades. Now, Mercedes have got a few upgrades. The floor diffuser and rear intakes, that's at least what the W16 is going to be fitted with. Now, there is a slight lack of updates going into this Grand Prix. In terms of Ferrari, they have a new floor, slimmer side pods apparently, and they're designed, as it says, to widen the ride height operating window. Might be delayed to the Spanish Grand Prix though, because of the new FIA flexible wing wheels, and that's what I want to talk about, because one of the reasons why a lot of teams, including Ferrari, may be putting the updates on hold, is because at the Spanish Grand Prix there's this new flex wing update, and it gives them a bit of time to put everything on there. And with this new technical rule where a few people, especially Red Bull, think McLaren are suddenly going to go from front marker to back marker, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's fairly significant. At least the teams are taking it very seriously, and a lot of teams are going to, for that reason, wait until Spain. So this was too funny. This has already been in the news. Max Verstappen, he went to a Ferrari GT3 test at the Nürburgring. I say that was today, but it was a few days ago. He wanted to go unnoticed. I don't know how you go unnoticed with Verstappen.com, a Verstappen helmet, and a Red Bull liveried car, but he gave the name of Franz Herman, which in turn I thought was quite funny. Yeah. And then because of that, we have this moment here.
Franz.
Franz is actually having a lot of contract offers at the moment, so he's actually negotiating his terms for the launch title.
There you go. He's negotiating his terms for the launch title, which I thought was quite funny. Also, this man is back in the paddock. Is Franco Colapinto. He's back, and it's going to be interesting to see what Franco Colapinto can do this weekend, simply because he's replacing, controversially so for some, Jack Doohan. He did very well against Alexander Albon when he started at Williams. He was very good. Now, when the pressure was on, there was talk about him going to Red Bull, going to the Red Bull Junior team. That's when he decided to crash a lot, and he was more Logan Sargent than early career first few Grand Prix Colapinto. Let's hope we get the first version of Colapinto that Williams got. I think we will. I guess we're going to have to see, but yeah, fair play to him. And now this is Ollie Bearman. They were speaking to him about his whoops and ladies at the Miami Grand Prix. Let's see what he's got to say for himself.
You to have a DNF last time out in Miami. How much are you looking forward to bouncing back here in Imola? And
how much are you looking forward to bouncing back?
Do you think you can bounce back to? What's the performance going to be like on the Haas?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming back. You know, it was a tough time out in Miami, having lost out on some good points in the sprint race and then a DNF in the main race. It hurts, obviously, even though I don't think we were fighting for the points. Not even seeing the checkered flag is always a little painful.
Yes, it was.
But now I'm looking forward to getting to a track that I know. That will be really nice, and it's been a while.
I think he mentions he's looking forward to going to a track that he knows. And I think that's the important thing. It's a track that he knows. Unlike Miami, which, to be fair, I think is quite a difficult track if you are a new F1 driver, unless your name is Kimi Antonelli, who got sprint pole. Yes, it was Ollie Bearman's worst Grand Prix of the season so far, but at least he's got that over and done with. So he can equal it, I guess, but I don't think he can do much worse. So, fingers crossed, I think Imola's going to be better for him. And here we go. There's been a lot of news about Christian Horner and Christian Horner losing his job after the Imola Grand Prix. It first started when Oliver Oakes left Alpine, everyone thinking, oh wow, he's going to sign with Red Bull. That was very much not the case at the time. But the rumours then still persisted, like a stain. And Helmut Marko has basically come out and said he denied the possibilities of Horner being fired, in particular after Imola. I completely agree. I don't think Horner is going to be fired. I think Red Bull will be very silly to fire Christian Horner, a man that's given them countless amounts of championships. The man who, along with David Coulthard's help, hired Adrian Newey. And yes, as with Mercedes, all teams go through a kind of like a slump, as Red Bull did in 2014-ish. They didn't win. They didn't have the highs of 2013 until 2021/2022, where they ended up being fairly dominant again. But I don't think they're going to get rid of Horner. That would be almost, for me, will be a self-destruct button, the beginning of the end of Red Bull. They could have got rid of him at WhatsApp Gate, I guess. This time last year, that was a lot more realistic of getting rid of him with all those allegations flying. So if they're not getting rid of him there, I can't see them getting rid of him here. Because who are they going to put in instead that will even be half as successful? I don't think anyone, personally. So Kimi Antonelli, I thought this was brilliant. He invited all of his school classmates to the Imola paddock this weekend to watch his first home race. I mean, absolutely amazing. I mean, look at them all. I think that's brilliant, and there's quite a lot of people there. And the fact they get essentially a free F1 race, fair play to see their classmate. Hopefully, podium potential. I think that could be on the cards. A decent qualifying. This is a hard track to overtake, albeit not impossible. 2022, it was Max Verstappen past Charles Leclerc for the sprint race win. So last but not least here is by Sarah de Villiers on Facebook. David Greenwood is going to be the person in charge at Alpine, not necessarily Flavio Briatore, but that's for the time being. And the reason why I thought this was interesting, this is something I did not know. Flavio Briatore does not have an F1 license, and it is only covering the role temporarily. That's interesting. Is it because he can't get an F1 license? Because he's a bit of a cheater? Now, in the absence of the new team principal, Greenwood is the dedicated person in charge, and that's what a spokesperson said. He rejoined Alpine in January from, yes, Hitech, which is one of the companies that the Oakes brothers, and particularly Oliver Oakes, owns. But there we go. So a big up to Anthony Hamilton. I'm looking forward to that for him to do his young drivers. That's pretty much most of the headlines. If you made it to the end, give us a big subscribe. Thank you very much. There's also the rally this weekend, as well as the Formula One. So we'll try and keep you up to date on both. We will have a F1 practice debrief, basically a Friday debrief in Friday evening, and we will go from there, obviously at qualifying as well. But until then, we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much, but above all else, stay safe.